A lot of people think eating disorders are about being skinny and being pretty and feeling fat. And I guess, superficially, that is part of it all. But eating disorders are mostly coping mechanisms to traumas that have happened in the past.
Well, I think I first noticed that something was off was when I was 6. I started thinking I was fat, and I was in first grade. So there was a boy in high school that my brothers had warned me to stay away from. It just kind of started out innocently. He grabbed me and pulled me into him very closely, and that put me into the position where I couldn't get away. And he whispered into my ear, "Don't tell me I'm going to have to rape you." I sat there in our basement, and it was pitch black, and I remember just shaking there and crying, kind of rocking back and forth. And my parents decided that they should go to the police, and I begged them not to, because I didn't want a big deal made out of it. I remember going into the locker room to change and hearing these girls specifically say my name, and that I was asking for it, and that I was a bitch for what I did to him, and I'd ruined his reputation. I didn't dare tell anyone what I'd heard, because maybe I had deserved it. It made me get into my head so much that that's all I thought about. It consumed me. My mom forced me to get on the scale and weigh myself, and that was kind of a reality check for me. When I got on the scale, I was 5'8", and I weighed 90 pounds.
I decided that I didn't want more than 200 calories a day, and it got to the point where my heart rate was about 15 beats per minute. And I no longer could move for myself. I had no muscle mass. I couldn't even get up to go to the bathroom. The doctors had to put catheters in me. It was to the point that I didn't even care to live or not. I would rather have died at that point.
They don't understand how dangerous it is. Yeah, I actually had one mother say, "I'd rather my daughter threw up than get fat." And in my mind, that said, you'd rather your daughter died than get fat, because I understand the medical complications that she didn't.
All you can think about is, when am I going to exercise? What am I going to eat next? What is my weight going to look like? You have an eating disorder because you want to be in control, but it ends up leaving you out of control. You binge eat to feel numb and suppress feelings of hurt. Numb is so much worse than being sad. It hurts, but you don't feel hurt. You just feel nothing. It's like being in a dark cave in the middle of the desert. It's a dark place, and when you get there, it's so hard to find the rope to get yourself out. You're hunting for it, but you just can't grab it. It really just becomes a sickness. And a lot of people assume that, can't they see in the mirror that they're stick thin and the ribs are sticking out? And you don't see it because you're so entwined in it and you're so close to it that you can't see it.
It's an all-consuming, never-ending war. It follows you everywhere and refuses to offer relief. It grabs hold of every weakness you've endured, every insecurity you've ever harbored, and uses them against you to its advantage. It destroys every part of you until there's simply nothing left. And there's no longer anyone to fight back, to fight for you, because the demon who caused so much damage is no outside force. It's you.
We aren't just these shallow humans wanting to be skinny. It's not just something we can get over at night. It's like if you break your foot, you can't just say, oh, I don't want my foot to be broken anymore, so it's not broken. I can't just wake up one morning and say, I don't want to be anorexic today, so I'm not.
It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It doesn't mean you are weak or inadequate if you cry.
This is just our shell. This is just where we're living. It doesn't define who you are as a person.
Recovery isn't a perfect uphill climb. You become what you tell yourself you are. Tell yourself you are worth it, even if you don't believe you are. I am worth it.
I am worth it.
I am worth it.